Some breaking news coming out of the White House. The second gentleman, Doug Emhoff, has tested positive for COVID-19. This comes, of course, a couple of days after former President Barack Obama announced that he also had contracted COVID. And Vice President Kamala Harris, she has tested negative for COVID, but is pulling back on her schedule as a result of this positive COVID test by the Vice President. And again, the White House announced this just moments ago that he had tested positive. In fact, it was about 6 hours ago or so that there were some photos released where Emhoff was actually at a community garden here in the nation's capital. And so they were actually, I'm sorry. They were. He was actually doing some work in the garden at the Naval Observatory, the VP's house, and again, he has tested positive. As a result, Vice President Harris is not attending the equal pay event that is happening very soon at the White House. Earlier, she was with President Biden for a bill signing because, as we said, she's tested negative. But here's the thing, Kelly. Look, I went through that experience. You can test negative, but really it's about 4 or 5 days afterwards where you have to keep getting tested. I remember when I came back from Hawaii, I went straight to Atlanta. My symptoms hit, I was on Monday, my symptoms hit on a Wednesday. Then I tested negative on a Thursday, didn't test positive until that Saturday. And so we're certainly monitoring the Vice President. But this also goes to show, whether it was President Barack Obama, whether it's Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff, COVID is still with us. You can be in the most protected bubble you can think of, and that's the President and the Vice President of the United States, and can still be impacted by COVID.
Absolutely. With everything going on in the news right now between, the Ukrainian-Russian war, what we just talked about, everything else, it feels like COVID as a headliner has been put to the back burner, frankly, not because it's not important, but because people are tired of hearing about it. And that's not really a valid excuse to get rid of a headline. And things like this are proof that we still need to be talking about COVID. We still need to be talking about using precautions. I'm not saying, mask mandates and all of this stuff, but keep it at the forefront of the American mind, because frankly, we are so behind the ball on protecting ourselves that any measure will help us combat this. So, thoughts and prayers go out to the second gentleman. If I'm not mistaken, he is vaxxed and boosted. So hopefully that will be enough of a precaution for him to come out of this well and virtually unscathed, because that's the point of the medicine. That's the point of vaccines and boosters. So I hope he's well. I hope he gets better. And I hope that, people use this headline as, a wake-up call that we are not out of a pandemic yet. We are still very much in a pandemic. You can still catch COVID. It is not a winter disease. It is not something that just happens because you're around a whole bunch of people. You can catch it and you can still suffer from it. Some people can still even die from it. So just keep that in mind and protect yourself as best you can.
And to that point, Mustafa, I think people have to be reminded of this. I mean, look, I think in many ways, folks have said, okay, let's just let our guard down. It's all good. We could just go back to normal. You have mask mandates that have been lifted. You see Kevin Durant blasting the New York mayor saying, get rid of these mandates while we still have them. You have people who are saying kids shouldn't be wearing masks in schools. They're upset. You've got these Republican governors all over the place, and all these people are chomping at the bit. You got these truckers from Canada whining about vaccine mandates, but we are witnessing that this is still real. It still impacts, and there are still repercussions when you get COVID. Even after you get COVID and you survive COVID, people are still monitoring their health because there still could be problems as a result. And so just so many people really don't understand that we have to be cautious. We still have to, look, you can sit here and say, I'm sick of masks all you want to, but I'm telling you right now, if you're around other people, especially large groups of people, you might want to protect yourself with a mask, also protecting your eyes, because COVID is still a real thing.
Without a doubt. We've got so many folks who want to deal in opinions instead of facts. Opinions can get you dead. Opinions can get you sick, especially if you're getting them from the wrong places. The facts are there. The science even though it evolves, has been very clear about how we can protect ourselves. And all you got to do is pay attention. I mean, China's shut down right now because of the outbreaks that are currently going on all across Europe. Omicron BA.2, was the one that was infecting folks recently, and now it's here in this country. And folks are saying that many of the new sets of infections are actually coming from that. But you have ways of protecting yourself. Not by no means is it 100% protective, but it's the best things that we have. Wear your mask. It just makes sense. It doesn't take much to be able to do it. And a number of the other things that we've known now for months upon months that help us to be protected. Getting our vaccine, making sure that we're washing our hands. And like you said, what people don't do is protect their eyes as well. So if you want to continue to put your finger into the hornet's nest, you go ahead. And I guarantee you that the odds are that you might end up getting stung.
But what we're still seeing, though, is that because there's been an outbreak in China, as we speak, China is building a 6,000-bed facility, and in a week, as a result of this new outbreak.
Well, they're making the investments. I mean, so one, they could have done a better job, but that's for their government to make the choices of how they want to protect their people or not. But here in this country, we need to start making better decisions. If we had done many of the basic steps, we could have avoided so much of loss of life. We could have also got to a point where we didn't have to shut down for these extended periods of time the way that we did, but we made choices to have sort of these different places across the country that had different sets of regulations in place and all this other kind of stuff that makes no sense when you understand a public health pandemic. But you're going to make the investments one way or another. And we should just start being much smarter in how we make the investments in a holistic strategy instead of a piecemeal strategy.
And the point I made earlier, Kelly, for the people out there who say, look, okay, this is really no big deal. Again, you look at the folks that he has been around. Again, the vice president, she was with the president today at a signing ceremony. For all these people, especially on Fox News and these right-wing people who mock Biden and Harris for still wearing a mask when they are around each other. Hello, Exhibit 101.
Exactly. And not to be ageist about this whatsoever, but President Biden is an elderly man. He is more susceptible to being immunocompromised than anyone else on his administration. And he just so happens to be the head of his administration. This is a concern. This is an urgent concern and something that needs to be taken seriously. So yes, you're right. People around Biden need to be wearing masks. That is a liability if you don't. That is putting the president in danger if you don't. And it's something that is so simple. We're not asking you to, just roll over and die for the sake of the president. If anything, we are asking you to save your own life. And in turn, you are saving the president's life as well, just by putting a piece of cloth over your face.
DeMario, you just joined us. Go right ahead. Your thoughts.
I did just join you. What are the thoughts? What are you talking about?
Second gentleman, Doug Emhoff, tested positive for COVID.
Oh, no, I didn't know that. I mean, I heard about former President Barack Obama testing positive for COVID. So obviously this is something real. I mean, for me, I just finished traveling to Iowa, being on a plane and going to a court hearing up there, and definitely concerned about the continuation of this pandemic. So that's a wake-up call, because we cannot get laxed on the mask. And I did have my mask on and everything. So I hate to hear that. What type of symptoms is he having?
They just simply announced that he had tested positive.
Well, I'm hoping that his symptoms are light. We know that this is still a very serious situation. I'm hopeful. I'm sure he was vaccinated and boosted, as I am, and I know many people are, and some people are not. But I believe that it's the best way to go for my personal health at this particular time. I don't know if I'll be doing it in perpetuity, but I'm hoping that he gets over this issue very, very quickly.
Pull up this tweet, folks. Eugene Daniels of Politico had sent this out. This is from earlier today. This is a photo that was posted on the second gentleman's Twitter page, where he was in the garden with a variety of photos. In fact, there were a couple of photos that he posted. You see him, like I said, in that particular photo. You see he's there smiling. Those photos were taken, were posted about 6 hours ago. And there were several photos that were taken. And so now, of course, contact tracing. You now have to factor in the other folks who were around the second gentleman, the other people around there who didn't have masks on. So even though they're outdoors in close proximity, now we know that he's tested positive for COVID. And so, hopefully this is a wake-up call for a lot of people who understand why these things absolutely matter and why we must still be attentive and focused. All right, folks, we'll give you more news. And as I said, Vice President Kamala Harris will not be attending the equal pay event taking place at the White House. There could be some comments made by President Joe Biden there. As a result, we'll monitor that to see if he did speak about this issue at that particular event. Back to that Roland Martin unfiltered video in just one moment.
Time to be smart.
Roland Martin's doing this every day.
Oh, no punches!
Thank you, Roland Martin, for always giving voice to the issues.
Look for Roland Martin in the whirlwind, to quote Marcus Garvey again.
The video looks phenomenal, so I'm really excited to see it on my big screen.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
See, there's a difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
I got to defer to the brilliance of Dr. Carr and to the brilliance of the Black Star Network.
I am rolling with Roland all the way.
Honored to be on a show that you own. A black man owns the show.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
I'm real revolutionary right now. Roland was amazing on there.
Stay black. I love y'all.
I can't commend you enough about this platform that you've created for us to be able to share who we are, what we're doing in the world, and the impact that we're having.
Let's be smart. Bring your eyeballs home.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
You dig?